read this chick's past and ran into this town where everyone basically gets killed off if the town doesn't like them. And anyway, this chick's past is apparently really sad because it seems like her entire family's house and the people were set on fire, I'm assuming, and that's why she is the way she is now. So dive on in. Dive on in. Dive right in. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out to you. Oh, we already read this. Okay.
Sure.
Wait. What? Yeah, and then we've read all that. Let's go right back to it. That's lame. I can't talk to her? Well, fine. As you nearly feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul, voices from its past seem to call out to you. Okay. You see a man soar through the air, hitting the nearby wall with a nauseating crunch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, burly, clean-cut warrior with a carnivorous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant, removing another from the impromptu brawl. I don't know why they use it. There's probably a word I don't know. Anyway. The bar is a whirlwind of elbows, knees, fists, and feet, with no end in sight, and he is in his element. In the corner, three smaller men speak quietly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the center. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cracking. The trio position themselves in three parts of the room, and with a terse nod, they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns brightly, and all three slump to the ground in an agony that's all in their minds. The burly man bows to a room of unconscious and incapacitated before sauntering out, off-key whistle trailing behind him. Another vibrant soul. You see an emaciated. Anyway, boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a squirrel and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for an animation. The man clucks at him, okay, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitches growing into convulsive shakes. Dude, what the heck is wrong with these people? Shane shakes Mulroon. Man, apparently everyone's had a crappy life.
This won't stop me for long.
I know.
Quickly and quietly.
Sneak. Okay. A lockpicks. Yes. Direwood Part 1. Yeah, I might be able to sell it.
Why not?
That requires mechanics too. Lame. Oh, man. Please leave me be. I'm I am full to sickness with... Oh, fine. Just change it every time I want.
This won't stop
Don't
me
do it.
for long.
Is that the door I saved? Grab a drink, friend. Not much else worth in this town. Not much else up worth. Says the woman from Theon. Hey, we said we wouldn't mention Theon. Interesting. So apparently there's nothing worth anything in Theon. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that the webcam was dead, but I fixed it, so let's continue on. Game paused. Alright. Oh my gosh! I can just read everyone's past! See a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. Okay, I'm not going to read all this, because it will take way too much time and I won't get anything done. So I'm just going to pause it at parts, or I'm not going to pause it, but you guys can pause it at parts. So there's the first part, second part. Oh. There you go. Alright. Can I read that chick's best? Probably. Yep. Who are you then? Another fool come to answer Rhetoric's invitation? Nope. Our great lord had my sister run out of town after the Bowie was born. She was the only family I had left. Not sure where she is now. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say boy, but I could be wrong. Blazes, I need another drink. Blazes! Good to see new faces around. Feels like the village gets smaller by the day. Probably does, actually. I wouldn't be surprised. We should have some minstrels here. Or like a wench or something. Huh. More people I can raid? No. Okay, what about these guys? No, there's more villagers. Lame! Francesca. Is that the one lady I'm supposed to see? Ah, stop that.
Welcome.
Hello, welcome to the innkeeper looks up. Oh, it's you! Yes! Tenfrith. Tenfrith is the dwarf that I saved from the bandits. Told us what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. No, you can't. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenfrith said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back to work in the kitchen. She laughs. So what would you like? I would like a room, please. I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? I'd like to know more about the Black Hound. Could I see what you have for sale? I'd like a room, please. Certainly. You're always welcome here. I better be. Insular characters to rest without using camping supplies. Cheap rooms are usually available, but if you have a copper to spend, you may consider the more expensive options. The bonuses they provide last for a long time and affect the entire party. Well, why not? Cutscene. Of the Pillars of Eternity? Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to waken and find yourself in front of a gilded veil's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward, like moldering fruit. That's a disgusting image. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms, larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watch her. She is ugly. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke to the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Oh. Though it fills you with a new, queasy appreciation, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Yeah, I'm actually really interested, but I want to go see this cook guy first. Oh, it's you, my savior. He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to earn one of my most closely guarded secrets. My dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. I hope so. I got a pie. I got a pie. Did I really get a pie? Doesn't say I got a pie. Where's this pie you speak of? I don't see any pie. Pie? Ah, what a liar! Where's the pie? Or maybe he just gave me the recipe for his pie. I bet that's it. Oh, that's stealing. Well, let's not steal from this guy, because he's actually one of the few people I know who actually likes me. Ooh, but I did level. One in lore, just because, you know, it can be helpful sometimes. Alright, more in stealth. I like to play stealthy. Maybe not that much. And what is survival? This character make better use of food and potion items they find. Mechanics and locks. I like it. Next. Ooh, I got another one. Just on. The ranger gets into a speedy, fluid, offensive rhythm, reducing archery but increases fire rate and reload time with ranger weapon and attack rate when with melee weapons. I don't really care much for that one. What is this vicious aim? By lowering attack and reload rate, your ranger is able to take more careful aim, giving them increased accuracy and damage. I like it so far. Predator sense heightens the predatory instincts of the ranger's animal companion, gives them a damage bonus on any creature suffering damage over time effect. I like this vicious aim. And no new talents unlocked. Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah, we're making progress. Merchants stay resting bonus +2 resolve. Okay, not bad. Once you have gained access to the stronghold, the menu can be accessed from any time from the central HUD. Once you have gained access to the stronghold. What's the stronghold? Interesting. As your character makes choices in conversations and quests, he or she will start developing reputations. Well, generally, yeah, I've already read this. I'm not going to read it again. So, how are you? Good. Good, nice to hear. Hope your family's doing well. Oh, okay. Forget about your family, moving on. Just kidding, go on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really? Interesting. Anyway, back to the game, if you don't mind. Ah, what the?
Eh?
Okay. Woman hanging in the tree. What is going on? Oh, right there. Scattered between the roots are bracelets bracelets of twine and bead, whittling flowers, and notes half erased by the rains. Come on, can I not? Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Caldra the Bernazi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags from the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh on her neck, torn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges under the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have extended enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt in your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness, in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from the tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head. The rope creaks, and as it does so, and she smiles at you. That's creepy.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Am I imagining this? How are you able to speak to me? I need to understand something that's happened to me. I think I survived a bivouac. Do you know why that would be? I want to know something about you. I survived that.
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Call them. Those days are all behind me, no?
Yeah, you kind of did. I want to know more about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What is an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear. Of course, dear.
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die, and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success.
It's interesting.
A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, no, not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them. Know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their honor can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
Dude, this power is actually pretty awesome.
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whispers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Okay, this is where the storyline becomes awesome! I love this so far. This is amazing.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldera closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision for some unknown place of waiting. So now the storyline starts to unfold, kinda? Anyway, that is all the time I have for today. I'll have another one of these up in 2 days. I'm going to start alternating between, so tomorrow's going to be Dying Light, and then the day after that's going to be another one of these. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a good day.